My name is Christopher Rose. I'm an author, mentor, life coach, motivational speaker and evangelist. Now in this video we're going to be talking about the lessons Paul Dorrington taught me. Now Paul Dorrington is a leading employment specialist, and I worked with Paul obviously when I was going through difficult times and challenges with my mental health problems and conditions. And I want to make a video of some of the things that he taught me while I was working with him, and also some of the things that I learned. So the first thing is that Paul Dorrington taught me about mental health. I've got a lived condition called schizophrenia, psychosis and depression, and Paul Dorrington's got a condition called bipolar disorder. Paul and me both have mental health problems, so Paul sort of talked to me and made me learn a lot about the mental health work and also living with mental health conditions. Taught me how to cope with my mental health problems, how to understand my mental health difficulty, how to use my mental health problems to help people who do have mental health problems, coping strategies that I can use for myself to deal with my own difficulties of mental health, and how to really manage my mental health on a day-to-day basis. So because of the work with Paul and what he taught me about mental health, I now work in mental health at the moment as a senior peer support worker in West London NHS Trust, and I also have managed to live with my mental health condition, recovery and also free for the last 6 to 7 years because of all the things Paul taught me about mental health and obviously living with a mental health condition. The second thing is employment. Paul taught me about how to apply for jobs, how to actually get jobs that you want. The jobs that I'm doing at the moment are all mental health jobs and working in mental health. So Paul was the person that taught me a particular way of applying to jobs and actually getting the jobs that you want. So when you are applying for a job and actually wanting to do a new role within your life, you look at the job description because it tells you about what the job you're going to do is. But also you look at the personal specification of the job description and also the job information. And the personal specification outlines exactly what different things you'll be doing in the role and activities you'll be doing in the role. When you see the personal specification, it's good to show examples of how you've done similar things that reflects the role that they want you to do. So for example, it could say, have you ever supported someone in a mental health crisis? So you would use an example of how you've supported somebody in a mental health crisis that was going through a difficult time. The more you show examples when you're actually applying for jobs in the personal specification, is the more points you get and the more likely the employer will see that you're right for the job. So when you are applying for jobs, make sure you use your work experience and also the things that you've learned in helping other people, giving back and making a difference. Or if your work is something else, just the experience that you've had in the past within your other employment jobs. And try your best to give examples. I learnt this from Paul because Paul taught me this near the beginning of the work we were doing together, and it really has helped me a lot because now I've had at least 15 jobs in the mental health industry, lots of volunteering roles and lots of paid work within mental health. So looking for jobs is very easy to me now, and also applying for jobs is very simple for me as well. So that's what I learned from Paul. The third thing that I learned from Paul is nature. Paul taught me about going into nature, spending time in nature, and being obviously in an environment that you can appreciate nature and understand nature. So there are some times when I'm not working or when I'm alone that I will go to my local park. I'll spend time sitting on the bench or taking a long walk and just really appreciating nature, the animals, the birds, the trees, the plants, the people, the environment, the air, the rivers, the creatures, and just really appreciating it. Paul also goes to parks quite a lot and in nature areas, and I do it also as well. And that's something he taught me, always appreciate nature and also value how important nature is for your well-being and your health. The fourth thing, Paul taught me about health and fitness. So when I was working with Paul always used to recommend to me that I should join a local gym and do some exercising there, because he said obviously if you're working within the mental health environment and you're supporting people, you need to manage your own mental health and you need to manage your own well-being. So Paul recommended that I join a local gym and I start working out at the gym and doing exercises. I can't tell you there, viewers, how important this has been for my own personal recovery and my personal journey in the work I do and also my day-to-day life. Going to the gym and exercising is very important for your mental health and also your health and your well-being and your fitness. So make sure you spend time at the gym. I normally go to the gym at least 2 times a week or 3 times a week. But whatever you can do at the gym is okay. If you can only go 1 day a week, then make sure you go to the gym, do some exercising and do some working out, and that will really help you in your own recovery and also in your personal mental health. The fifth thing that Paul taught me is about spirituality. Now, spirituality is very important for yourself in the work you do and also in the things that you're trying to achieve for yourself. Paul taught me that spirituality is really about just understanding yourself, understanding nature, understanding God, and living a life that has a purpose, passion, meaning and value in it, and doing things in your life that are important to you and things that you enjoy. So with my own spirituality, the things that I do for myself, I am a Christian, I am in faith. So I do believe in God, I do believe in a creator, and I do believe in Jesus Christ. So I do go to my local church on Sundays to pray and also just to be a part of the congregation. And I also do things in spirituality to look after myself, like just sometimes writing in my journal, sometimes just being alone, cooking healthy food, having healthy drinks, and just making sure I'm well within myself and I'm actually okay within myself. And also with spirituality, it's about connecting with everything, making sure you are connected to humanity, you are connected to animals, you are connected to the universe and the planet and the world, and you're living a life that has meaning and value, and you're doing things that are very important, not just for yourself but for other people. The sixth thing that Paul taught me was about helping other people. Now, I've been helping other people now for at least 6 to 7 years into mental health industry, supporting people with mental health problems and conditions. And I learned about the helping other people work from, Paul Dorrington. Paul taught me everything I know about helping other people, how to support people, how to manage a job, how to maintain your own well-being and your health, how to support people in what they're going through and their experiences and challenges, and how to, just make sure you make a difference to others and a contribution. And when I learned that from Paul, and when I learned it, it changed my whole life. While I was working with Paul, I was going to university and also working in retail shops. And then when I started to learn about helping other people, giving back and making a difference, I changed my life from going to university and working in retail shops into stopping working in retail shops and stopping going to university and starting to do the work in the mental health work and support people with mental health problems, because of what Paul taught me about helping other people, and because I had the will and desire to want to help people. So most of the work that I've done in mental health is based on the work that I did with Paul Dorrington and how he helped me. The seventh thing that I have learnt from Paul is about personal development and learning. Now, I've been on this path of personal development and learning for a long time now, ever since I've been working with Paul. So it's about 6 or 7 years now. Paul recommended me so many books to read, so much videos to watch on YouTube, and certain things to listen to, like podcasts and also audiobooks. And at the time when I was getting into personal development and learning, I didn't know anything about studying, reading books, listening to audiobooks or podcasts, or anything about just personal development. And then Paul recommended me the first book to read, which was The Secret. The Secret is a book by Ron Burns or something like that, and it's just a book on the law of attraction, how to attract the things in your life that you want, how to understand, money, relationships, career paths, opportunities, and just things that you can obviously do in your life. And I read that book and it really changed my perspective of certain things that I was doing. And shortly after I read the book, he told me to read a book called Mindset by Dr. Carol DeWick, and I read that book, and that was a good book as well. So learning about the personal development and learning about studying, reading books and listening to audiobooks and podcasts is definitely what Paul taught me to do, and it really has helped me in my life in so many different ways. And I really just appreciate how important those things have been for me in my own personal journey and my own recovery. So these are the things that Paul taught me. There's probably lots more things I can mention, but these are the main things that Paul taught me. And obviously I do owe the work that I do in the mental health industry for Paul Dorrington and Karen Michigan, who helped me when I was homeless, when I was poor, when I was going through a difficult time. So I really appreciate the work I did with Paul Dorrington and how he helped me to rebuild my life and to get myself in a better situation, in a better place for myself. And because of Paul, it sort of motivated me to want to help other people, give back and make a difference, because all the work he was doing with me, all the times I was with him and all the work we did together, sort of empowered me to want to do the same thing he did to others for me. And I just valued the service he was giving to me, the way he was helping me, the way he was teaching me things, the way he was showing me certain things, the way he was making me understand certain things that were important. And I've used all the things that I've learnt from Paul Dorrington to help people in what they're going through and to make a difference. And now I'm very driven, very motivated, very passionate and purposeful about my career path in the mental health industry. And I've been doing this type of work, like I said before, for at least 6 or 7 years, working in mental health and supporting people with mental health difficulties and problems. So anything is possible when you get the help you need from someone that you care about and someone that you find important within your life. I wasn't someone that was always the most successful or the most prosperous or the most rich. I received support from Paul when I was going through my problems, and Paul helped me to recover and get me to a place where I can help other people, give back and make a difference. And when I'm able to just continue to help people in my life and to make a difference into others. So I hope this video has helped you, and hopefully these lessons will obviously help you in your development and in the things that you want to do for your life. So thank you for watching. Take care. Goodbye.